Welcome back to Lito's Language Lab. I'm so happy you're here for another episode. This is our special time to practice speaking Spanish, build strong communication, and sound more and more like real Spanish speakers. But most of all, this is your Spanish adventure. This is where Spanish comes to life. We don't just learn words, we use them, we play with them, and we make them our very own. So let's jump in and use our Spanish with confidence. Vamos! In our last lesson, we started working with something very important in Spanish called noun helpers. Noun helpers are words that help us talk about nouns. Remember, a noun is a person, a place, a thing, or an idea. And nouns don't usually work alone. They're usually accompanied by other words that help give them meaning. Do you remember how we learned that every word belongs to one of 8 parts of speech? Each word has a role. Each word has a purpose. Some words name things. Some words show action. Some words describe. When we understand what a word's job is, it becomes much easier to know how to use it and where it belongs in a sentence. One of those parts of speech is called an adjective. Today, we're focusing on a specific kind of adjective that plays a big role in Spanish sentences. Adjectives give us information about nouns. They help explain how a noun is being talked about. Noun helpers belong to this group. They are adjectives with a very specific job. Noun helpers don't describe what a noun looks like. They don't tell us the color, size, or shape. Instead, they tell us how we are referring to a noun. They help us think about questions like, are we talking about one noun in particular? Are we talking about any one in general? Is the noun nearby or is it far away? That's the kind of information noun helpers give us. Today, we're adding 2 new noun helpers to our Spanish toolbox. In English, these words mean a or an. When we say a or an, we're not pointing to a specific thing. We're talking about any one in general. Spanish does this with 2 different words, un, una. Un is the masculine form of a or an. Una is the feminine form of a or an. Just like the noun helpers we learned in our last lesson, these noun helpers follow an important pattern. Noun helpers always come before the noun. They stand in front of the noun like a helper. There's one other thing in Spanish that's very important. Nouns and adjectives must agree. That means they must match. When a noun is masculine, the noun helper must also be masculine. When a noun is feminine, the noun helper must also be feminine as well. That's why we say un libro. Libro is masculine, so un is the correct helper. We say una maleta. Maleta is feminine, so we say una using that feminine helper. At this point, you might still be thinking, I know that nouns and adjectives have to match, but how do I know which one to choose? And that's an excellent question, and you're asking it at exactly the right time. Here, our noun helper looks unsure as well and is asking, do I use un or una? But here's the rule, and this rule is always true. Noun helpers do not decide on their own which one to use. They look to the noun for the answer. The noun is the one in charge. It's the one that determines which noun helper we're going to use. Remember, every noun in Spanish has gender. The noun tells us whether it is masculine or whether it is feminine. If the noun is masculine, we use un. If the noun is feminine, we use una. This has nothing to do with boys or girls, remember, masculine and feminine. It's simply how Spanish organizes words, and you're learning how to follow that system step by step. Say this after me. Un and una help us talk about a noun. Any one noun. These noun helpers, un and una, are called indefinite articles because they talk about any one noun, not a specific one. Before we start using un and una, let's warm up our Spanish brain. Let's have calentamiento con Lito. Warm up with Lito. We're going to sort our nouns into 2 groups, masculine and feminine. And remember, I want you to answer these questions in a full sentence. So if I ask you, is libro a masculine or feminine noun? I want you to say, libro is a masculine noun. Does that make sense? Do you remember how we did that last lesson? Hope so. Let's get started. Bandera, flag. Is bandera a masculine or feminine noun? Bandera is a feminine noun. Mapa, map. Is mapa a masculine or feminine noun? Mapa is a masculine noun. Libro, book. Is libro a masculine or feminine noun? Libro is a masculine noun. Música, music. Is música a masculine or feminine noun? Música is a feminine noun. Norte, north. Is norte a masculine or feminine noun? Norte is a masculine noun. Maleta, suitcase. Is maleta a masculine or feminine noun? Maleta is a feminine noun. Lápiz, pencil. Is lápiz a masculine or feminine noun? Lápiz is a masculine noun. Comida, food. Is comida a masculine or feminine noun? Comida is a feminine noun. Borrador, eraser. Is borrador a masculine or feminine noun? Borrador is a masculine noun. Capital, capital. Is capital a masculine or feminine noun? Capital is a feminine noun. Marcador, marker. Is marcador a masculine or feminine noun? Marcador is a masculine noun. Aventura, adventure. Is aventura a masculine or feminine noun? Aventura is a feminine noun. Cuaderno, notebook. Is cuaderno a masculine or feminine noun? Cuaderno is a masculine noun. Pasaporte, passport. Is pasaporte a masculine or feminine noun? Pasaporte is a masculine noun. País, country. Is país a masculine or feminine noun? País is a masculine noun. Sombrero, hat. Is sombrero a masculine or feminine noun? Sombrero is a masculine noun. Great work! You just reviewed the gender of your nouns, and that matters because noun helpers depend on the noun. So let's start now using un and una to build real Spanish. Say a book.
Un libro.
Say a pencil.
Un lápiz.
Say an eraser.
Un borrador.
Say a marker.
Un marcador.
Say a notebook.
Un cuaderno.
Say a map.
Un mapa.
Say a passport.
Un pasaporte.
Say a country.
Un país.
Say a hat.
Un sombrero.
Excellent. Now let's practice our feminine nouns using una. Say a flag.
Una bandera.
Say a capital.
Una capital.
Say an adventure.
Una aventura.
Say a suitcase.
Una maleta.
Great work. Now let's mix them up. We can either use un or una depending on the gender of that noun. Say a book.
Un libro.
Say a flag.
Una bandera.
Say a marker.
Un marcador.
Say a notebook.
Un cuaderno.
Say a capital.
Una capital.
Say a passport.
Un pasaporte.
Say an adventure.
Una aventura.
Say a pencil.
Un lápiz.
Say a suitcase.
Una maleta.
Say a map.
Un mapa.
Say a hat.
Un sombrero.
Say a country.
Un país.
Say an eraser.
Un borrador.
Great listening and translating. Now that you can choose un and una with individual nouns, it's time to use them inside full Spanish sentences. Say, you have a book.
Tienes un libro.
Say, I don't need a pencil.
No necesito un lápiz.
Say, you have an eraser.
Tienes un borrador.
Say, I don't have a marker.
No tengo un marcador.
Say, you need a notebook.
Necesitas un cuaderno.
Say, I need a map.
Necesito un mapa.
Say, you don't have a passport.
No tienes un pasaporte.
Say, I don't need a country.
No necesito un país.
Say, I don't have a hat.
No tengo un sombrero.
Say, you have a flag.
Tienes una bandera.
Say, I need a capital.
Necesito una capital.
Say, you need an adventure.
Necesitas una aventura.
Say, I need a suitcase.
Necesito una maleta.
Amazing job. I'm so proud of all your hard work. Today you learned how to talk about any one noun using un and una. You're not just memorizing Spanish, you're understanding how it works. Next time, we're going to keep building and learn how Spanish talks about a noun that is close to us. That's how Spanish grows. I love learning Spanish with you today in Lito's Language Lab and look forward to seeing you in our next lesson. Hasta pronto!